Welcome back to On the Volley, where we talk about all things football. Sorry, how did I mess that one up? Anyway, and as you all know by now, I talk mainly about Celtic. And well, today I'm going to be here. I'm talking about the Scottish FA Cup semi-final. As we all know, we lost 2-1. You can't win everything. I mean, I was confident, maybe overconfident to be totally honest. But then again, saying that, I believe we were all confident because of the way we've been playing. That said, I did point out that it is a cup game, and I think we all knew that as confident as we were, cup games can bring out surprises, okay, different results, so on and so forth. And let's be honest, we weren't at the races. I mean, you've got to give it to them. As much as I hate giving them plaudits, they wanted it more. Now, I don't know whether or not, we're just burnt out, we're tired, I don't know. Because we play every single game at 300 miles an hour. Now, Matt O'Reilly came out and said that, the intensity in which Celtic play in the matches, it's the same intensity at which they train. So, I mean, that is high level. That is high level. I mean, if we see what they do in the matches, and then we turn around and think to ourselves, well, hold on a second, they're training at that same level. Yeah, is it going to have an effect? I don't know. I'm not going to question Ange. His methods work. That's been proven. Because let's be honest, okay, nobody expected us to be where we are today. Okay, if we look at the start of the season. Sorry. I'll get hay fever, and I'm out in the back in the garden. So, look, the bottom line is, okay, right, it would have been a massive, massive achievement, okay, if we could have won the treble this season. But let's not forget the priority has always been the league. The league has, and always has been, our priority. But we mustn't forget something, okay, right? At the beginning of the season, to be totally honest, we didn't even believe. Let's just say, it was hard to believe that we'd be challenging for the league, yeah? We saw the situation at the beginning of the season. No one knew who Ange was. No one knew, half these players, if any of the players that were brought in. So we were quite in the dark, and, everybody I asked, okay, all their objective was to, shorten the gap, okay, from the result of last season. So, that said, I'm not going to criticize any of the players. I thought some players had a good game. I thought some players were had a bit of a dip in form. They were more physical. Maybe some of our players need to adapt to the physicality. But hey, let's be honest. Physicality doesn't even win a game, yeah? So, I don't even know if that's true. We've seen skillful players, Messi, Gianfranco Zola, okay? All these players, okay, right, that are small but skillful, and they dealt with physicality. So I don't even think that is that is something which we need to take into consideration. Plus, the Scottish League, we know it is a physical league, as is the English Premier League. So the way I see it, excuse me, fucking hay fever. It wasn't to be. It would have been a fairy tale ending to the season if we'd won the Scottish FA Cup and win the league. But for now, our priority is the league. So let's just go out there and let's just wrap that up. Now, I do want to mention a couple of things, yeah. You know, in the first half, Ramsey, I mean, he just skied one over. He could have scored. It could have been 1-0 for them. Lundstrom hit the post. Okay, that could have been 1-0 for them. And then, you know, we come up with the equaliser. Greg Taylor, of all people. Okay, it was a deflection, but the goal was attributed to him. What were the odds on Greg Taylor scoring? Must have been about 100 to 1 or something silly like that, yeah. But hey, that's it. And we could have finished the game. Carter Vickers, okay, from like about 2-3 yards out. Oh, man, you know, hit the crossbar. He scored in the last game against them. More or less, I think it was the same position, if I remember rightly. You know, I just think that Carter Vickers just leaned back a bit too much, tried to hit it over the goalkeeper, and just a little bit too high, and that was it. It hit the bar. Okay, so, you know, they could have had one where they hit the post. We could have probably finished the game, made it safe if Vickers had scored. That wasn't to be, just wasn't to be. That's football. Sometimes that happens. And then we had a situation where Joe Hart made a triple save, yeah. So he kept us in the game. Look, we had some performers out there, you know, you got to give it to them. I hate to give it to them, but I think they probably, okay, I'd say a draw would have probably been the right score, and it should have gone on to penalties. Okay, but they definitely stepped up their game. After 2 consecutive losses against us, okay, I had a feeling that you know, there was a possibility they would step up their game. I also had a feeling that, you know, we're not 4 or 5 past them, because we threatened to do that in the last 2 games. You know, it was difficult to call this one, to be totally honest. You know, if you're calling it with your heart, you was going to say, yeah, we're going to win, and we're going to score 3, 4, 5 goals. You know, that's your heart speaking. If I'd looked at it logically, I would have turned around and said, well, no, the game isn't going to be as easy as we think it is. And that's what I said in the last game. Okay, we played them. And I honestly thought that we would have seen a reaction there, but we saw it here. And you've got to give it to them. They fought for the ball. They fought for the second balls. They stepped up their game. Was that down to pride? Was that down to fear? And when I say fear, okay, I'm talking about, okay, the abuse and criticism they would have got from their fans. So I think it's a bit of both, okay, which spurred them on. The adrenaline of the semi-final. We just looked spent, I think. You know, I don't think we played too badly. I just don't think we played at our normal levels. For whatever reasons there was, okay, behind that. We were definitely missing Gigi. We were missing Biton. But personally, to be totally honest, I don't think that's an excuse, because we've played this season, okay, with you know, major players, okay, important players who have been out. You know, Kyogo's just come back in. Should he have started from the start? Maybe. It's a semi-final. Would it have made a difference if he'd scored 1 or 2? Maybe, yes. I think Maida had a great game as usual. I know some people were criticising him for his performance, okay, but that guy just ran and ran and ran. At one stage, I remember him, you know, he was playing as a defender. He was back there, okay, in defence, helping out. So I'm not going to criticise Maida. I think the guy's awesome. His running is awesome. Now, why was he taken off? Apparently he was tired, and I can understand that, the amount of running he does, okay? And you've got to remember nowadays, okay, the sports science tracks everything. So even before you go and play a game, you know how long you can let a player play on the pitch for. before you burn him out, in theory. So, and they've got a lot of how do you say, technology at their hands, okay, which tracks the players' performance, how much more they can give, whether or not they're on borderline or they've gone over it. And I believe that also plays a part into the amount of game time someone plays, substitution, so on and so forth. Again, that's just my opinion. I don't know. It's just what I believe. Okay, what I will say, excuse me, okay, is even though we lost that game, we've got a League Cup in our trophy cabinet. We're 6 points ahead with 5 games to go. And again, I'm going to repeat, it's ours to lose. I don't think we're going to lose it, okay? It's too much of a gap with 6 games left. And I honestly believe that the league is ours. So if we close this season, okay, at the end of the season with 2 trophies, okay, all I have to do is just say, I admire and the boys. I'm proud of the achievement, because we've got to look at it, okay, objectively. We've got to look at where we were at the beginning of the season. We've got to look at what our aspirations were at the beginning of the season, and we've got to look at where we actually are today. So for me, even though it was a disappointment losing the Scottish FA Cup semi-final to them lot down the road, hey, it's a blip as far as I'm concerned, okay, because we're going to go on to bigger and greater things under Ange, I'm sure of that. Now, I just want to make a comment on another, what's the word for it, subject, okay, with regards to the semi-final. When I first started in Celtic, when I first started supporting Celtic, everyone knows I'm a newbie, okay, it is what it is, I am who I am. I'm not going to pretend to be somebody I'm not, or it's just not me, yeah. So I heard a lot of things, I also looked at the Larkin video on YouTube, which one of our commentators advised me to do, and I did say that I was going to do a video, okay, and post it on the refereeing in Scotland. But to be totally honest, this season I think that the refereeing has been quite decent. It's been fair, if you like, okay. I haven't really had much which I could comment on when it comes to the refereeing. So I don't know what the past was like, okay. I've heard about the Masoneria, okay, the Orange Order, okay, where all the referees basically come from, okay. So all of that, okay, I know, but I like to judge based on what I see. And we've had Column, we've had Beaton refereeing, okay, and they're like major, okay, supporters of them lot, from what I understood, okay. To be totally honest, they've been fair in their refereeing. Madden, disgraceful refereeing. Now don't get me wrong, as you've seen up until now, I haven't mentioned the referee, I haven't blamed the referee for the loss, okay. I've said that we weren't at the races, them lot wanted it more, okay, that's why they won. I have not once mentioned Madden, okay, so I'm not blaming him for the loss, okay. So please don't get me wrong, but I do believe, okay, right, that it does need to be underlined, his shocking, disgraceful refereeing. Now, it was a physical game, it was feisty, we knew it would be. There were some hard tackles going in, we knew it would be, okay, we knew that'd be the case. And you expect a referee to give a card out when a card's deserved, yeah. Now, when Maida was brought down, everyone was saying that's a red card, that's a red card. And, you know, I suppose somebody could have given a red card, another referee would have, another referee wouldn't have. But we looked at the replay. He wasn't the last man, and if you look at the rules, yeah, probably a yellow card was correct. Okay, so I'm not going to criticise him for that. I'm going to criticise him for the times that he should have given cards, and he didn't. Okay, they should have had at least one player sent off, if not two, and he didn't do it. He was letting them get away with murder, to be totally honest. Okay, now don't get me wrong. I used to play football, you know, and there's some hard tackles going in. It's changed. It's evolved from when I was a youngster, where, you know, nowadays it seems like you can't even touch a player. Okay, right? You know, and a card comes out. So you go from one extreme to the other. I just think we should have, you know, a fair, equal, okay, refereeing standard. Personally, I wouldn't have him refereeing another game, to be totally honest, after that. Or I'd bring him in, I'd say, listen, that was atrocious refereeing. If you ever referee like that again, we're going to put you into the lower divisions, okay, because you're not up to the level, okay, of refereeing games like that. You know, that, yeah, the SPL needs referees a certain level, okay. I don't think we're asking for much. Now the goal they scored, 2-1, or we scored, okay, was he offside? You know what? From where we were seeing it, it was just too close to call, to be totally honest. Just too close to call. People were saying, would VAR have called that? Probably, if it was off, you know, because you've got the line, it shows you the line it shows. But even then, with VAR, okay, there's been a lot of controversy, a lot of wrong decisions on it. And even VAR depends on the person who's sitting in front of the monitor, okay, who has to give out his judgment on it. And a lot of the times, okay, the person in front of the monitor doesn't want to overrule the referee, okay? He doesn't want to make him look stupid, if you like. I don't know what the reason is, but it's video assistant referee, okay, or as Keeper said in one of his videos, video absent referee. So it depends, okay? So I wouldn't expect VAR to change everything, but maybe in the Scottish League, I think VAR may well, okay, at least, how do you say, what's the word for it? Make it evident, okay, make it evident. You can go back on the replay, there's a line, okay, and it will show referees like Madden for who and what they are. And we got that on our, what you call it, action replays anyway, okay, when it comes to the fouls. So, hey, what can I say? Madden's not a decent referee, okay, that's all I've got to say. Not judging by that, that performance or lack of, depending on how you want to see it. Listen, that's all I've got to say on that, yeah, okay. Let's wrap this league up, okay, with a few games to spare. Allow Ange to maybe rest some players, okay, right? Give some others a run out, like Dembele, for example, Julian, okay. Some of the players that have been on the fringes that haven't been playing. So if we can win the league with 2 or 3 games to spare, that'd be absolutely brilliant. Anyway, listen, I hope you liked this video. If you did, press like. Just in case, okay, we did do a video in the pub. Didn't go exactly how we wanted it to, because we lost, obviously. Some people didn't want to do interviews afterwards. I think Keeper's going to put up a pre-match interview with a chap called Liam. So just in case that doesn't go through, what I do want, okay, is to give a shout out to Holly, Paddy Lavery's daughter. So if I'm giving you a shout out twice, okay, makes up for the fact that I forgot on other occasions, Holly. Okay, your dad's a stand-up bloke. Okay, you're lucky to have a father like him. Okay, and I haven't even had the pleasure to meet him yet. Looking forward to that. Anyway, that's all I've got to say for that. That's it. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. What else can I say? Me, Shah, I'm out.